I've got a, a good one-star review to start this video off with. It's on a book called Success Habits. I've never read it, but I've been trawling through the reviews on just random books. So Success Habits, and it's a 1 out of 5-star review. And the heading is, "There was a roach in the box." And the review, the roach was alive in the box with the book. Ooh, now I'm pretty damn sure that must have been a bit of a shock. And I'm presuming by roach they mean a cockroach. And I'm pretty sure also that the cockroach was probably very unhappy with the arrangement as well. And that it probably came to a sticky end. But is that the author's fault? I mean, is the author boxing their own books up and popping in a complimentary cockroach? Probably not. Yeah, so reviews are, they're necessary. They're a necessary evil, aren't they? And I used to obsess over my reviews. I used to. I haven't done for a long time, but I did. And, you know, 1 3-star or less review could ruin my whole day. And now I see that as pretty pathetic. And I only check reviews occasionally. I don't think about them most of the time. But anyway, I'm fascinated by reviews. I'm fascinated by audience response to performances. You know what? People watching is a brilliant occupation. But you know, the one that bugs me the most, and this comes up, and I've said this before, and this comes up with non-fiction books, okay, over and over again. Nothing new here. You can hear the voices. That's what they sound like when you read it. Nothing new here, right? Nothing groundbreaking here, right? Do you know why that's annoying? 2 reasons. First of all, one is an author supposed to write a book that covers every area of everything for every potential reader? No, of course not. That's ridiculous. So somebody might have read a zillion self-help books all on the same subject. Somebody might have only read 1 or 2, you know. But that leads me to the second annoying point, which is there is a section of society who are just constantly seeking the next big answer, you know, the holy grail, the answer to the meaning of life. And so they'll buy book after book, or they'll watch video after video, but they're not really absorbing that information. They're not taking it on board, or not taking some of it on board, and they're not utilizing it. So it's a form of procrastination. But there's kind of comes an arrogance with that, as in, nothing new here, nothing groundbreaking there. You know, well, you know what? Sod off and write your own new and groundbreaking book. Don't expect other human beings to keep coming up with the answer of your universe. That's what I say. So, to you. Right. Not as I expected. That's another one that's annoying. Well, is that the author's fault? Well, it could be if the book description is not, it's not a true representation of the book, or it's not giving a clear enough idea of the content of the book. And writing book descriptions is not easy. But here's the thing. I have plenty of evidence to suggest that most people, no, not most people, a lot of people are not actually reading book descriptions. They're not reading them. And so then it's their own fault if the book isn't what they expected. And again, it's not the author's fault. They can't write a book that would be what every single potential reader expects. So where is this one here? Okay. So not that one. Talk amongst yourselves. So here's evidence of that. It's a book called Third Eye Awakening. And if you read the book details, it says 82 pages. Now, this person here gave it 1-star review and said, wouldn't recommend to a friend. And the review is, thought this book was going to contain more, being it is an averagely priced book. Light read, less than 60 to 70 pages. Multiple typos. Okay, well, multiple typos is a different matter altogether, isn't it? But here, this customer can't make up their mind whether there are 60 or 70 pages. In actual fact, there's 82. And if they'd read the book description prior to purchasing, they would have known that. So anyway, what I've done is I've come up with, and I'm going to cut this down because otherwise we'll be here all day. I wish I could just spend all day doing this because I found quite a lot of them. But let's pick some that are pretty good. So I've put them under little headings, and this one is losers. And it's the nothing new category. You know, that one we just talked about? So this book is called The Success Rebellion. Now, pay attention to the title because it's important. The Success Rebellion. Begin creating the life you were born to live. And here's the review, which I didn't put it down. Actually, I forgot. I think it was a 1 star. Thankfully, I only paid £1 for this title. I am sorry to say the book is extremely boring and has nothing new to say. I struggled to get through the first chapter and then had to abandon the rest. Sorry, heard it all before. Now, does the irony strike you? Do you get what I'm getting at here? Okay, the title of the book, The Success Rebellion. Begin creating the life you're born to live. Couldn't get past the first chapter, heard it all before, had to abandon the rest. Oh yeah, this person is rushing out there, you know, is taking success by the jugular vein, you know. So, no, sorry. But it's pathetic, isn't it? Right, so now carrying on with losers. This book is called Goats of the NHS. Ghosts of the NHS. And it's yawn. I'm definitely psychic. Are you? Good for you. But I think this is too far-fetched and depressing. Same old. I had high hopes, but no. And one person found that helpful. Now, isn't that rude? Okay. It's again of the nothing new genre. And there's another thing I like about reading the reviews on spiritual and psychic books is there are so many people out there with huge egos who believe that they know the answer to everything. The author's completely wrong because you see, I'm psychic and I know exactly how it is. And they're completely wrong. Well, write your own frigging book then again. So, yawn. Yeah, same old. And maybe it is, but, you know, how many times can you tell the same kind of stuff? You can't, you can tell it in different ways, but it's going to be, you know, the subject matter is the same, isn't it? Where are we now? Here. Okay. Hypersensitive and superstitious reviewers. Now, we're back to Ghosts of the NHS here, by the way. This is a hypersensitive reaction. 1 out of 5 stars. And the heading is, unfortunately, I'm retracting the glowing review. So she'd prior given her a glowing review. Now, lots of people are reviewing books before they've finished. People are reviewing books before they've even started. They do. That's crazy, isn't it? Anyway, here's the review. 3/4 of the way through, the author describes herself as being gutted. How dare she? How very dare you? There is no reason to use offensive language, and I shall not the book further. I don't know what's missing there, but I shall not the book further. Really, that's disgusting. I'm surprised Amazon's let that slide. How dare you be gutted? A book called Malibu Rising. Here's another hypersensitive one, another 1-star review. Horrible book. That's the title. Horrible. First of all, I'm not a prude, but this book is nothing short of lewd. I love that word, lewd. Scene after scene of sex and depravity. This could have been a good story without all of that. Very disappointing. It's awful when people are disappointed in us, isn't it? Very disappointing. I don't recall the last time I did not finish a book. I simply could not read any more of this debacle of a book. Now, 328 people found that helpful. So maybe they're all members of her church. Horrible book, full of sex. It sounded a bit like Mrs. Doyle out of Father Ted, isn't it? Scene after scene of sex and depravity. Yeah. What was it she said? wall to wall bollocks. I think that's what it was. Anyway, here's a book, Verity. Boring. It's 1 out of 5 stars. Boring is a heading. Right. I thought this book was absolutely disgusting and should have come with an X-rated warning. Full of unnecessary sex scenes which added nothing to the story. I had to skip page after page to avoid the repetition of the sane acts over and over. I think they mean sane acts over and over. Don't buy this badly written Reuben. I think maybe, I don't know what a badly written Reuben is. Could be badly written rubbish, but it's got a capital R on the front. Shame on you. Shame on you. Who would write this? Shame. Disgusting. Now that doesn't actually sound boring, does it? That's the heading. It's boring. Oh, it sounds anything but boring. So what do we want to talk about now? Now, this is fantastic. Now, this comes in the superstitious category, or under the superstitious category, right? So it's a book called Sacred Woman, Guide to Healing the Feminine Body, Mind and Spirit. Now, this lady has got out another book, fantastic title, Overcoming an Angry Vagina. Wow. That reminds me of the film Meet the Parents. What was it? There was a book there. Was it How to Keep Your Vagina Happy? That made me laugh. But this, I'm not laughing at the lady, by the way. It's probably a really good book. And let's face it, ladies, the men won't understand this, but we've all needed that book at some point or another. Anyway, and so there were comments about this book being about African rituals. And so people were unhappy about that. But given that the author's pen name or stage name or whatever name, professional name, it's Queen Afua or Afua. And given that on her author's page, there's a picture of this magnificently handsome African-American lady. And so, I know the description doesn't totally and utterly say, that this is based on African rituals, which is what some people are saying it is. And there is a review written by Jada Pinkett Smith as well. But I think you might kind of get the picture. Okay, but here are two reviews on that book. The first one is this. If you are a believer of God, do not get this book, with 4 exclamation marks. And then they continue that on into the review. If you're a believer, do not get this book. Threw this book away today. Had this book for about 3 years and probably looked through it when it first arrived. So basically they glanced through it. They've had it sitting on the shelf for 3 years. So that's how eager they were to read this book. I'm glad I didn't bother doing any practices from this book. This book will have you communicating with other gods, doing rituals, etc. And that's definitely a no for me. I encourage everyone to do their research, especially on these kind of books. Better wake up and smell the coffee because this is wicked. Wicked. Now, okay. Here's a good one. Demonic. This is a demonic book. My daughter was pregnant and purchased this book during her first trimester. I am so happy that I intercepted it. What are you doing intercepting your daughter's mail? What? Well, presumably, she's relatively grown up as she is pregnant. What are you doing? Going through her things, opening her mail. I began to read some of this stuff and trashed it. It is demonic, and a book like this is not allowed in my home or anybody else's home that I know. I even read some of the stuff to a few friends and family who agreed. Yeah, I bloody bet they did and all. I suggest you read some of the things in the book before you decide if you would like to purchase the book. Because, pregnant women do not read a book like this because you'll end up giving birth to Rosemary's Baby. Okay, be careful. Don't have that, get the holy water out and the garlic and the silver bullets and everything else, okay? Burn it, okay? Because you don't want to be giving birth to Rosemary's Baby. If this is what you are into, but be sure this is the type of book you want to read, okay? So 2 people found that helpful. So there you go. Those are the 2 reviews on a book called Sacred Woman, the author of an amazingly sounding book called Overcoming an Angry Vagina. And I think she should get award of the day. I'm going to give her award of the day. This has been the most interesting one. Okay, so here's a nice little book. It sounds lovely. Experience Angels. 1 out of 5 stars. You'd think this is a nice book, but you're going to find out it's not. This book is about the fallen ones. Please wake up. Do not be fooled. What she is talking with is a devil, and she is a witch. They're pretending to be angels, but the fact is they are all evil ones. And 4 people found this helpful. 4 people are going to be saved from this evil. Now, just quickly, we'll go through the plain, silly, unreasonable category. The book is called The Banty House, and it's got 1 out of 5 stars. Horrible, the title is. Just horrible. Now, this is a review. No punctuation, no capital letters, just horrible vomit, like it does not make sense at all. SENCE, does not make sense at all. Read this in a small house in Texas, TEAXS. Friends become family and strangers become friends. So horrible, just horrible. Vomit like it does not make sense at all. Read this in a small house in TEAXS. Friends become family and strangers become friends. And 3 people found that helpful. Really. Malibu Rising. Oh, well, this is not such a bad one, except that she was desperate to read this book. She loves this author, but there were ink blots on the pages. And so the author gets a 1-star review. David Walliams. You know, I am disgusted with David Walliams. I can't believe he did this. His book called Thing. Listen to the review. 1 out of 5 stars. Item dumped at door. We were both in all day, but nobody rang the bell. When opening front door, found package on ground in full view of passers-by. David Williams, you got in your car. You drove to that person's house. You didn't even bother to ring the bell or knock at the door. You dumped the book there where everyone in the world could see it and you cleared off. Well, you want to be ashamed of yourself, mate. Ooh, any more silly ones? We like those, don't we? Oh, here we go. A book called Between Two Worlds. Again, it sounds lovely. Oh, I don't know, Between Two Worlds. Maybe it feels like you're a bit stuck. Haven't read it. My wife liked it. That's the heading. My wife liked it. He's a fake. 8 people found that helpful. Not worth it. Not worth it. That's the heading. And then the review is Dumb. Dumb. D-U-N-B. That's it. D-U-N-B. Dumb. 3 people found that helpful. God bless their little cotton socks. So can you see... Oh, God, no, there's one more. Outliers, it's called. And it's got a 1-star review. Still to read, but recommended by a reliable friend. You know, we all need to have a friend, but much better it be reliable. We don't want an unreliable friend. None of us do. Haven't even read the book yet. Give it a 1-star review. You know, I see the logic in that, do you? Perfectly logical. So you can see, okay, the world of Amazon book reviews is highly entertaining. And so, you know, I don't know whether you've had any of these kind of reviews on your own books. That would be interesting. I haven't had any that I would really point out and go, well, this is hilarious or this is absolutely disgusting. There's, you know, 1 or 2 that have irritated me a little bit and some that I've absolutely loved, but on the whole, nothing really to write home about. So it would be an interesting video for you to make if you had some really strange reviews on your own book, you know. Although would that be ethical? Because then that, no, actually it wouldn't, because that's us responding to our own reviewers, and that's a big no-no. That's a really big no-no. So forget that, scrap that. That was a stupid idea. Okay then. So anyway, look, don't forget to like and subscribe. I keep forgetting to say that. If you're still here with me now, anybody out there? There. Right. If you are still here, I'm going to, anyway, stick in a little reminder nearer the beginning of the video to like and subscribe. But you're still here, please do it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Catch you soon. Bye.